This week on Stay Out of My Fridge.
He's a huge musician, and he talks about Stevie Ray Vaughan for 35 minutes. So I'm always like, I gotta go buy cigarettes, but do I have an hour to waste before I do this? I'm like, this sucks. But he would sell me alcohol as well, just because he thought I was over 21. So I was like, I'll listen to some Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Once my wife and kids had to make pancakes after the show, so I'm totally thinking about food right now.
We talked about that Hawk Tua girl. You know, can you imagine just going out from a bar, someone asking you a random question, and then that being your whole persona? Now,
what about the guy that interviews her and nobody could tell you the account or the person that actually was doing the interview? I mean, those injections that you were talking about backstage, that's a real thing. Two bears, one cave. I think they kind of described it as a medical way to, you know, the stuff like the spray foam that you put in.
Yeah.
And it kind of like expands things. Apparently they do make those for men and their part. And apparently you can go and you can pick out the size, everything. There's a doctor that does that.
Now, I want to say that folks should be happy with who they are. I think you should be happy with who you are. Now, we've all been on the internet, so we know that that's not quite possible with everybody. Some people, I mean, I've heard folks who have innies, for goodness sakes. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like, God bless you with what he blessed you with, and let's get you happy. But I think we are so, as just are, even past when we were kids, we are so drowned with the idea that, oh, we're not enough as men. You need to get bigger. You're not as big as Bob. Nobody gives two hoots and a scoot. I mean, as long as you're happy, if it's getting wet, that's what matters, right? I mean, doesn't matter how thick how deep the puddle is.
I mean, the Reverend speaks the truth. Okay, Reverend McDermott speaks the truth. No, I don't know. It's I don't remember whenever I was a kid looking at the internet and just be like, holy fuck, like they get that big, god damn. And I'm just sitting there going, holy fuck. And then, like you were saying, holy fuck, they get that small. I'm like, you know what?
Emotional damage.
Need a good old confidence boost, look at that. And then because you hear some of these women talk at work sometimes, they're like, oh, this guy, oh my god, it was like a baby toe. And I'm just sitting there going, damn, that's rude. Like, fuck off. Like, these bitches are vile. Like, how dare you? And then
conversely, boys are the same way. Sorry. I mean,
we are. We're worse.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I'm with you with the idea that, like, I didn't mean to steal your point or steal your thunder, but honestly, it's so pervasive that we're not enough. You're not enough. And if you flip it around and it's the other way around, it's not right? If we're all looking at women and we're saying, oh man, they gotta be this, they gotta be that, and it happens, but that's not how it works. Beauty's beauty. If I love you, I love you.
That's right.
And if we're getting down, we're getting down.
That's right. That's I thought double A was the battery until I saw my wife's bra size. So I mean, hey, there's the itty bitty titty committee. I'm an executive member. I love it. And you know what? And she likes that mine are bigger than hers. It all works out. We all have our perks. Hers are just perkier.
That's the T-shirt of the episode. The itty bitty titty committee executive director, which coincidentally stands for ED.
I like it. My sister-in-law made some T-shirts for the 4th of July. Since last year, we almost killed ourselves and blew up the entire thing. We had some executive fire marshals and stuff like that for. So I forgot exactly what it said, but it was pretty much like firework police or firework fire department or something. I don't know, but it was nice. We were walking around and only one person got hurt, so I feel like we did better. Eventually, we're going to get a T-shirt that says, this many days since the last accident.
Did you guys see the news about the guy from South Carolina in the firework accident?
On his head.
Yeah,
I was so, what I was so surprised with that, I'm not going to give the details, I'll let you do that, was how the interview with his wife went.
See, I didn't see that. I just saw a random thing. It was like, hey, here's a video of him dressed as Uncle Sam dancing. Oh, I danced too hard in the studio. Shit's falling down. And then apparently they ended the video, and then he decided to, like I said, I just saw a quick video. You know more about it, Brandon, if you want to kind of run with it.
I'm trying to look it up now, but for some reason my computer's being really dumb.
I can look it up here.
So what was so silly about it was guy was drunk. Happens. Fireworks also. Literally, I was like, we all have this guy in our neighborhood. That is the white guy, cargo shorts. Definitely has a political flag outside of his house. Doesn't matter which one it is, but you know what I'm talking about. And he's always the nicest guy that's like, hey, your kids want some sparklers? Or you guys want to just come on over here, come hang out with us. It's going to be big at 11 o'clock. You know, like he's that guy. That was basically the interview I heard from the wife. That is who he was. Yep. Would give his clothes off his back, was the nicest guy in the world. We had no idea. He was just drinking and decided to put a firework near his lit cigarette mouth and put it on his head.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't need to get into what kind of firework it was, but
I don't even know, but I had to have been crazy, yeah.
Dang, I was going to ask. I just assumed it was an artillery shell, but
yeah, I didn't see anything either, like I said, but apparently he was just doing it to show off. I mean, we've all probably been pretty drunk, allegedly. I know I have, not speaking on your guys' behalf. We've all done some dumb things. I can tell you right now, putting an explosive anywhere on my body or there. And from what I read, too, it was like a block party. And there was a lot of people, like including his kid or kids. His entire family was there. The neighbors were there. There was a party going on. And then they had to, obviously, end the party. And then I just couldn't imagine, like, that's my dad. Oh, my God, he's doing that. Dad's gone.
I caught an eyeball. Like,
here's the quote. Oh, Jesus. Alan Ray McGrew was caught on camera smoking a cigarette and doing a funny jig, decked out in garb, head to toe, red, white, and blue for an Uncle Sam suit, top hat and beard before the horrific accident happened. Mortars smoldered behind him as he silently flashed finger guns and kicked his feet out. He's dancing to his own tune, one person chuckled, and another remarked that the big show would be starting soon. Later on, put a large lit piece on top of his hat, and all of a sudden it went away. I thought he was just showboating before he set it to the ground, his wife said. I didn't realize he had already lit it. The firework exploded, causing head injuries that likely stopped him immediately.
ooh.
Yeah, they said the coroner said it was massive, or a coroner or the coroner or something that I read said it was like massive head trauma. Just unbelievable. I mean, you guys, we showed the quick video there from Vertex Media on their YouTube. Just showed a quick one there of Alan. I mean, he reminds me of like we all could probably, as soon as you see that video, you could probably think of 1 to 5 people that are your buddies or in your town. You're that guy. He's just that wild man, hardworking. He was an HVAC guy. You know what I mean? Just a blue collar, worked his ass off, having a good time, entertaining, and just, I mean, that kind of with anything. You do one dumb thing, it could really mess it up, whether it kills you, puts you in jail. Yeah, that's terrible, man. But we talked about it on the Body Wrong podcast, and I know you didn't see it probably yet, Brandon, but guess how many people in 2023 were injured due to firework-related incidents? This one blew my mind.
Last year?
In 2023 is what we found the data from.
150.
9,700.
Jesus.
8 people died, and there was 9,700 ER visits from whether they, blew a limb, burned, whatever. It was like 700, I think, just from sparklers.
Wow.
You're like, oh, those innocent little sparklers. 700 people had to go to the hospital because of them damn things.
Those things, I mean, people don't realize just because it's bright, it's nice. That is literally some sort of metal that is like molten now.
Mm-hmm.
If it touches your skin, goes through it, like. No, I literally was out in a storm. It was wild. Euban, you're from around here, so you can feel this. It was like 90 degrees hot, sticky. It was nasty. And then the storms hit, and it dropped like 30 degrees like that. And it wasn't like wind and stuff like that. It's just the humidity went away, and like it dropped, and I was like, okay, lawn chairs up, back to the house, because this storm is hitting soon. Yes. And like sure as hell it did. But anyway, so there I was with my sprinkler or my sparklers, and they were going off, and I was like, probably shouldn't have this over my daughter's head.
I'm actually wearing a pair of shorts that have a burn on them from a sparkler from last year. which is kind of ironic. But yeah, Euban, you guys had a nasty storm, and you had all sorts of fun this at the time of the recording because of it, right?
Yeah. So I woke up and it was storming like crazy, and then of course I hear my rooster out, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" That means the damn door blew open, and I saw 16 hens and one rooster, and these hens they're pretty tame now. They're easy to corral. I was nervous at first, but
Wait, the
got
wife
them all
watches
in.
this. It was so hard, wasn't it, to get all
It
those
was
in?
honestly, it took about 4.5 hours. Honestly, is
Mm-hmm.
how long it took. It definitely did not take me only 2 minutes, and I was super ecstatic about that. That would never happen.
On
No,
a sore foot.
not yet on a sore foot. Which surprisingly, that as well, healing much better, and it's to the point where I get very stubborn to where. You know, like those steroid packs they give you when you're sick that you have to get like a 10-day supply or whatever, and you're supposed to take it in that order. I usually get to like day 4, and then as soon as I start feeling better, I'm like, yep, fuck this, I'm done, I'm done. Same thing with apparently an injury. As soon as I can put weight on it, and I'm like, I can get around without this boot, but this is fine. This is fine. I'm gonna do it. And so everyone was watching me on the 4th of July. They're like, you're supposed to be in that boot for like another month, right? I'm like, I think, yeah, probably, yeah, but not anymore. Look at me.
Yeah, what are
I'm
you,
gonna
my
get,
doctor?
I'm gonna get in the pool, and they're like, that's probably even a worse idea. And I'm like, nah,
They do
stretch these
therapy in
joints.
pool. I mean,
Yeah. I was like, let's stretch these joints, you know. So,
ooh,
when you see me again by the next episode and the boot's back on, and you heard it's just because I, stepped on an uneven piece of gravel because I'm a fucking idiot or something, you'll know why.
yeah, I'm
But
curious because one time it was a Target parking lot, and then it was a golf cart got the best of you. So,
it was Old Navy, but whatever,
oh,
It
my
was
bad.
right next to Target. It's essentially the same
How
thing.
come
But
nobody's open New Navy?
you know,
Good question.
they
They
should.
probably own that royalty, but you could maybe just change the color. I mean,
Just
isn't
make
that
it the opposite.
or the new Air Force? Hmm.
Hmm.
No, I thought that was a good one.
Well, I was thinking that too, but I was also thinking of like the opposite of Baby Gap.
Oh, we probably shouldn't touch
Adult.
those jokes. Nope, adult holes. I think they have those already.
No, what's the opposite of Gap?
I don't know. Oh, my brain's in a different place.
Closed. Adult closed. No.
Oh, clothes. No, okay. So we're good at some things. We have a T-shirt. So Old Navy or Target or whoever else, you guys can pick up the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. But now everybody makes T-shirts. So that was like somebody had recently hit me up and they're like, "Hey, I heard you do merch, and I'm thinking about doing merch." And I was like, "Listen, unless it's 2018 or 19, good luck." And they're like, "What do you mean?" Like, I'm starting to get a good following, and I'm like, "That's cool." And they're like, "You should put out shirts," and I'm like, "That's awesome. I'm just letting you know. I know a lot of people that have done that. They've spent a lot of time paying for someone to make a graphic, putting out the shirt, doing this, and all those people that say they're going to buy one don't usually buy one. But I said, if you want some help, I'll give you recommendations. My recommendation is don't fucking do it."
Well, here's the thing: is that think about social media when it comes to somebody visiting your page. Random person finds your page. Maybe you have a video that hits 1,000,000 views. Of that 1,000,000 views, only 1,000 of them, only 1,000 are, well, I shouldn't say that. 1% of the million,
Yep.
whatever that number is, 1% is going to go to your profile. And 1% of that 1% is going to make an additional click of a link, whether that's to your merch page or to your About Me page or whatever. And 1% of that 1% is going to, so you're literally having to go viral with every video so you can get 2 or 3 people from each video buy a piece of merch from you. And that's what has to happen for you to be able to do it and actually it make monetary sense. I didn't waste a lot of money. I wasted some money, but I spent like $600 originally. I spent $600 on, I won't go get it, some masks to be made during the pandemic. They were nice, stretchy masks. They were great because like a fat man could wear them, and they were very breathable because of the like polyester. Now, was it probably good for like medical stuff? No, not at all. But it looked cool. And I spent $600 on the design and to get them shipped to me. I sold for like $3 each, 2 of them. And I just ended up giving the rest of them away, which was okay because I saw it as somebody's going to wear this mask. And they're like, who the hell is this guy? But
Yep.
And then since I put my merch up through some other third-party site, I've maybe sold, and most of them it's like literally an MLM. You get your friends and you're like, "Hey, do you want to buy a piece?" And like your uncle has it, like nobody wants your merchandise. And Matt's completely right. Stop wasting your time. Stop worrying about merchandise. Just keep making content because you're going to get paid more if you keep doing that.
Unless it's like a funny T-shirt idea, you know what I mean? And the best thing that you can do that I've found is, like, for me, I buy a bunch of random domains, I throw shirts out there, and then every week a couple buy, and it pays for the domain. But what I found is if you use the Google Shop, not Google Ads, but there's like this Google Shop thing that you can list them on there, they get directed to those a lot easier, and it doesn't cost anything. Like I randomly picked 2 shirts on beardlaws.com to be that, and I sell 1 or 2 a week just from random Google things, and I'm like, how cool is that?
Oh shit!
And but I saw something there. I was randomly scrolling on TikTok, and it was this guy, and it was just like, you know how they have to hook you in the first little bit, and this guy got me. He's like, being a content creator is more than being a content creator, right? And I'm just like, all right. And then the next line was something like, being a content creator means that you can take, you know, your pursuit of whatever and actually make some money. Let me explain. So he's like, I wanted to buy a GoPro camera. I just wanted one. I love to hike. I love to go to mountains and stuff like that. So I bought a GoPro camera. I'm a content creator. Filmed a couple videos. Guess what? GoPro camera. Write off. Right? Which people think write off, you don't have to pay for it, which means it just, you don't pay taxes on as much. You know what I mean? So if you show a loss, a lot of people don't get that. I was explaining. But then he's like, the next thing you know, I'm going to this mountain with this GoPro camera, creating content. It's a business trip. The meal's business trip, you know, and he's a DBA LLC, which this person already had a business, but it's like, you know what, if you're truly passionate, and I'm going to be working with somebody locally here that is very passionate about some stuff, it's like, do that. Where else in the world can you put out a video? I mean, I think everybody here's put out a video that's got millions of views, whether you meant to or whether you didn't. Like, where else can you do that and get your product in front of millions of people, whether they're bots or not? It's a good time to do it.
100%. 100%.
But
yeah, and talking about, you know, random videos going viral, stupid fucking chia pets still haunt me to this goddamn day.
Would have been cool if you had a huge collection of chia pets, though.
You know, I still have 3 unopened that.
Which
my
ones?
wife's like, "Hey, it's summer. You might as well go one of the, you know, do one of these." And I'm like, No, because I haven't filmed a video in like 3 months. So if that is my first video back and was like, oh, look at this desperate fuck for views, and I'm like, no, I'm just bored.
Yeah, I think at this point people know that it's not a desperate fuck at this point. But we have an elf. I don't know, you guys will remember elf, but a lot of people won't. And David Hasselhoff chia pet that we got at a local bin store for $1.
Are you talking about Alf, or are you saying Elf?
Elf, like the big old 80s well, not cartoon, but like puppet or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Elf. I don't know, stupid Canadian, weird New York, uneducated accent.
No, it's not at all. It's just it's interesting
like,
how you're able to like take the 2 syllables. Well, not really 2 syllables, but like it feels like 1.5 syllables. Elf, and you're like Elf, but Elf. Like I'm over enunciating Elf, but it's more
Elf.
In your nomenclature, say Elf.
Yeah,
Elf.
I just sound super white whenever I say it. I'm just like, Alf.
Elf. Like we're Elf.
Pass me the saltines.
I have a portion in my brain, and it's all of these words that I don't say anymore, and that one just found its way in there. I don't say the actor Arnold anymore. I don't say his last name. I try not to say documentary. I try not to say Oregon. All of those ones are just...
Look at you just nailing those words, though, whenever, you know.
Yeah, it's because of you guys. But I did talk with Logan the other day, and there was some words that came out of him, and I was just like, God damn, you got to get you on this show so we can make fun of you a little bit more.
Documentary.
The documentary.
Oregon.
That one still haunts a lot of people. Every once in a while, I'll get videos sent to me, and especially Joe Myers, he'll be like, yep, look at this guy saying documentary, and he'll send it to me, and I'm like, thanks, Logan. I know all the boys. It's in the back of our head out there.
You're like, man. God damn it, of course it's him. That's
Yeah,
funny.
I'm just gonna do our quick little shout outs real quick while we're in there because I figure we're gonna talk about some food stuff anyway. So I might as well warm it up with some warm, soft pretzels from our friends at Milwaukee Pretzel Company. Check them out, MilwaukeePretzels.com. We talked about it quickly, I think, at Triple T, but not with you guys. This is more of the platform, I think, like pickles. Pickles are like a big thing. I don't know if it's been a big thing everywhere in the world because whenever things are like really popular, they don't hit us till like a couple years later, kind of like the storms are a couple of days later from you guys when it gets here, but years later, like White Claw was big everywhere else in the U.S. and then it became popular here like 7 years later. Cornhole, people were just starting to play a couple of years ago up here. Yeah, it's a weird thing, but they have the dill. It's like a dill pickle honey mustard, and it's fantastic. I got a shipment in the other day. It was good, so I didn't know if like pickles were in for you guys. You guys would smash that or?
Pickles are great. I was just actually watching a couple YouTube videos before we started, where one famous YouTuber hates pickles, and I'm like, you can't hate pickles. Like, I don't like sweet pickles, but pickles in general. I mean, it's a great thing. Whether it's actually pickled cucumbers that you're eating, or pickled okra, or pickled pig's feet, or even eggs. But pickles itself, yes, it's good stuff. Now, are you meaning in the sense of like pickles are taking over, like everything was Chipotle, like 15 years ago, Chipotle flavored this, Chipotle flavored that, like pumpkin spice type stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
Like the birthday cake flavor of everything in the entire world. I think pickles is, and what kind of triggered it is obviously the dill pickle mustard that they have, but then not so long ago that we talked about way too much was that lady that put all those pickle jars on a shirt and made millions of dollars. And I just feel like pickle culture, for some reason, like people love pickles.
Yeah, between like deep fried pickles, and there's this new pickle sandwich apparently that's taken over where instead of using bread, it's the sandwich ingredients are stuffed inside of a pickle and you just eat it that way.
I saw a dude. Let me see if I can find it. He made pickle hamburger sliders.
See, and I know you guys were saying, people who hate pickles are weird. Fuck pickles. Disgusting. Trash. I hate pickles.
I figured you
No,
would.
no judgment. I'm not going to be a child here. Why? What is it about pickles?
So mine's the texture thing. I don't mind pickled juice. So now, so back in the day, if I got a McDouble or something like that, I would get no onions, no pickles. Didn't like that. I was straight ketchup mustard. Now I'm like, give me the onions. I love the onions. Keep the pickles on, but I'm going to take them off. Okay? And if they accidentally leave them on, I'll eat it. It doesn't bother me as much. I'll notice it and kind of be like, pick it out a little bit.
Say what, McDonald's onions hit different, and their pickles. There's something different. I mean, they're probably something different, but they hit. I'm not a huge fast food guy, but every once in a while, I don't know if they put something in there that kind of keep you coming back. But I'm just like, man, I could go for like a McDouble or something with them goddamn onions and pickles in it. Like, I don't even care about the burger and stuff as much. It's those goddamn onions and pickles.
Promised my wife and kids I'd make pancakes after the show, so I'm totally thinking about food right now.
I was going to say, don't put onions and pickles in them.
No, I was just thinking about that, and like you're talking about McDoubles, and like my tummy's all bubbling.
Oh boy, a good bubbling, right?
The good bubbles, not the bad.
Okay, those bad bubbles.
Did you guys cook for your families on the 4th?
No, we went to a friend's house, but no, I didn't do any cooking.
Yeah, our plans actually got changed from July 4th to Saturday the 6th. So we ended up, we had a nice little cookout. It was kind of just my family, my parents, and then my brother's family kind of came over. And my brother and all them, I'm like, you got to chill and grill. So we kind of sat by the pool. We just grabbed a bunch of hot dogs, you know what I mean? And I wasn't one that ate, 18 hot dogs the night before. So I was all about eating some hot dogs. And we just hot dogs, easy going, you know what I mean? Mac salad. What else do we have with it? Oh, the old man, he made, you guys know Michigan sauce?
No.
So Michigan sauce, I don't know exactly where it originated. I would have to imagine Michigan somewhere.
Okay.
But it's a Michigan hot dog sauce. So it's ground beef. Let me see if I can show you a picture. Oh, this recipe doesn't have a picture, ironically. But it's pretty much beef, tomato sauce. I'm trying to think what it would be. Kind of almost like not quite chili. Let me pull up here.
I think I've seen this in a can before next to chili.
Okay, they do have it in a can. I didn't know that.
Yes.
So this is essentially... Yep, there's a place where I went to school in the town of Plattsburgh where the traditional thing is this. It's the hot dog, the Michigan sauce, mustard, and onions.
Love it.
and it's fantastic. So the
So
old man ever
like a
go ahead.
it looks like a beefy like sloppy Joe. I'm like,
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was
Yep.
gonna say. I
Let me
had
show
no
you
you know,
where.
north of you, you've been in Iowa. A big thing here in the Midwest. It's not an Iowa thing because it goes to the different states. We each have our own, but they do a non-sauced loose meat sandwich in Iowa. That's a thing. So instead of it being
made right.
made rights, basically, yep, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
instead of it being
no.
sloppy Joe with the sauce, it's just ground beef with like onion grease and stuff, and it's good, but it's
Oh,
just you want some sauce on it.
yep.
That's we have something similar. It's called a crumbly burger, but same thing. It's just a loose meat sandwich. But made. I went to Made Right. It was like 15 years ago, and for a combo meal 15 years ago, it was like $11. And I'm like, there's like no flavor in this. I was like, why people are crazy? Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck is this?
it's definitely like a little mini, 50-year-old Midwest tourist trap.
It is. No, they had wild cherry Pepsi on fountain, so I worked right next door, and they're like, "Hey, come by anytime for a free drink." And I'm like, "You're gonna regret that." I'm gonna be in here every hour.
That's
And it
the
was
We
worth
got to
it.
change the cherry Pepsi again. It's 3 times this week.
I
that's
know.
our
I'm a,
best
I'm a
seller.
slut for a good fountain cherry soda. Love
Man, I
these
can't
things.
get into soda. I'm not mad about it, but there was one thing that I went through a stage where I was like trying to drink Mountain Dew, just I think to kind of be cool or something when I was younger, and I'm like, this sucks. I can't deal with it. I
Uh,
hated it.
I like how some people have that talk when they're a kid. Like, I was just drinking beer just to be cool, but it was Mountain Dew for me. I was drinking Mountain Dew to be cool.
I mean, drinking beer up here is normal.
I
Drinking
know.
Mountain Dew, I think, is the cool move when you're younger.
Mine was I started smoking cigarettes way too early because all my friends did, and I fucking regretted every second of that.
I had a buddy. He worked on a farm, and younger, so he had money. Money. As a kid, and he he would be able to drive his four-wheeler to this one store. He'd pick up. He'd pick up like what was this thing? I almost think like mini muffins and a pack of smokes, like almost every day. Like 14 years old. They didn't care.
It's there was this one really really big guy that worked at this small gas station like 10 miles outside of my town, and he was the only one that would ever sell me cigarettes. And like I had these Jim Belushi sideburns like all the way out like the bottom of my ears whenever I was 16, and I'd walk in, he goes, "Hey, and this is how he talks. He's always out of breath and he speaks very hasty. Hey, you graduated with my brother, didn't you?" And I go, "Yeah, man, yeah." And I was like, "I'm a little fucked up right now. What year we graduate again?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, oh two, oh two." Mind you, I graduated in '08. So at this point, he's thinking, I'm 22. And I'm like, "Oh, this all makes sense. This makes sense. Okay." And he's like, this person. And he's a huge musician. And he talks about Stevie Ray Vaughan for 35 minutes. So I'm always like, I gotta go buy fucking cigarettes, but do I have an hour to waste before I do this shit? I'm like, this sucks. But he would sell me alcohol as well just because he thought I was
Hell yeah.
over 21. So I was like, I'll listen to some Stevie Ray Vaughan. Fuck it.
Yep. It makes it isn't it crazy how much more tolerable life can be knowing that you're gonna get some booze, or and if you're in a legal state you're gonna potentially get some lefties, you're gonna get you're gonna get that fix that you really need to get through your day. And then there's that guy, he's just probably happy, content as could be, just sitting there talking, slinging stuff to minors or non-minors. It's crazy how the mentality, like I'll go into a liquor store around here, and like the person is like one of the happiest people. He just sits there when he's not there. He plays solitaire. He'll talk to you about whatever you want with booze. He has like a passion of finding the right booze for you, and
And
then
they're keen on the scratcher tickets, sorry, too. They're always like, hey, these ones I haven't seen a winner come back on these ones. How about these ones? And I'm like, good looking out. Give me 3 number 12s.
man, we drove by a liquor store yesterday, and you just ever have that one moment where you're like, I don't know what, not thank God, but holy shit, like I snapped out of it, because I drank quite a bit more than the average person, and I was heading down a dark path, thankfully, had the kid and snapped out of it, but whatever. I drove by this liquor store, and this was one of the most unhealthiest, like you just look at somebody and go, oh shit, they don't have much longer. And if I had to guess, I'd probably say 30s, maybe 40s, extremely bloated, yellowish. One of these people that the belly is hanging way under their shirt. You know what I mean? Like the veins in their legs, like you're, and they had just had two bags of liquor, and you're going, come on, that's probably today. And you're just like, you feel terrible seeing something like that because it wasn't always like that. And so I'm like, I was thinking about having a beer too. So I was like, not drinking it all today. I'm going to have water. Told the wife she can drink, whatever. And then on the way home, we go by Doug's Tavern in Hewelton, Logan's favorite place, my favorite place to go in lovely Hewelton. They had a band that, doesn't make it this way, that people love. Just a cover band, you know what I mean? Which I have mixed feelings on that. And there was somebody so goddamn drunk that like gravity was failing them. Like they were just this, and they like fell and had to grab a telephone pole. And it took 3 other drunk people to carry this guy. And I'm like, God damn. Another sign why I'm just like, thank God I'm not a drunk. I mean, that's brutal.
Especially in the days of social media where people are going to film and blast you out in the public, and you never know what's going to be picked up and go viral. It's just like, oh my God. It's like, I'm not going to embarrass myself in the daylight.
Well, what's funny is I won't tell you once. I have to tell that to you later. Remind me of that
Fair.
one.
Gotcha.
But I remember we got up to a group of protesters about 20 years ago, and it's not 20 years ago. What were they protesting? Okay. So just imagine on top of your head, it's not a protester you see in the last 4 years when it comes to the topics they were protesting, but it doesn't matter. I was annoyed because they were in the street, and I rolled down the window, and my friend says, Brandon, before you say anything, somebody's going to be like, hey, isn't that guy that works at that college radio station? And we're laughing because like I was a nobody, and I'm still a nobody, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I tell my wife every day, I was like, you have to be careful when we go out in public how we are seen, because people know who I am. And I don't mean that as in like, look, I'm some celebrity outside of my town. I'm a radio host, a morning radio host. People know who I am. They listen to me every morning.
And you hit the streets you have a segment where you hit the streets.
Yeah. So I'm always there. They see me on social media. They see me so it's a town of about 25,000 people, not the biggest place in the world. So I'm not trying to make myself seem like I'm something great or not. But anyway, people know me. Had a lady walk up at a Wendy's. I didn't even open my mouth to order. I ordered on the mobile app, stood in the back waiting for my mobile order to finish. And she just walks right past me in front of me as I'm staring straight as the food's coming, would come to me. She walks right past me, doesn't stop, doesn't look at me, and just goes, how does it feel that everybody knows who you are? And I looked over, and she just continues walking, didn't even like look. I was like, good to see you. Like, what do you say to that? So when I'm telling my wife, like, you got to be aware, to Euban's point of like, you don't want to be caught on the internet, even as a random viral video, but more than that, each of us has to be careful because we have a social media brand that we've built. You can't say something stupid or do something stupid. You have to be respectful. And now that extends to my family.
It's crazy. Those phones everywhere. Like even at the barbecue we were at, the other day, this guy put on this hat, and it wasn't anything bad, but it was just like, I'm not wearing this hat because you guys are on to take pictures. It's going to be all over Facebook. My coworkers are going to see it, and they're going to say this, and like just the way the brain thinks for the for the older generations as well. Like, I can't wear this, and it was just like it was his mother's hat, and it was he's just like, no, but don't. I don't know.
The anxiety, you're like, this is going to get posted, this is going to get shared. It makes you think, and it's just, I didn't used to be as weary back in the day. I used to just be able to post whatever I want. I'm like, fuck it. I'm still kind of to that point, but I think I've grown a little bit to where I heavily consider what the hell I post each single time. Now I'm like, this could go viral for, different reasons. We talked about that Outta girl, Can you imagine just going out from a bar, someone asking you a random question, and then that being your whole persona? Now,
what about the guy that interviews her, and nobody could tell you the account or the person that actually was doing the interview? The only was that one moment of the clip. Like, we've all seen the video. I can picture the guy doing the interview to her. Oh, I don't think his account probably blew up. Probably nobody knows who this guy is. But that Outta, now she's signed in with what, Penthouse?
So you're talking about the main like guy that was his page that was interviewing her.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about this? I had a thought about this exact thing the other day. I said, I wonder how much his page blew up. because the original video itself was being shared and shared and shared, and we talked about that 1%. Even a little bit of them was like, "Ooh, I like these types of interviews. I'm going to go check out what he's got going on." So I wonder how much his jumped. No idea how much it was, but
That's the thing, you know what I mean? Like the Hawk Tuah girl, everybody knows it, and there's a million people, not a million. There's a lot of people that were trying to make money just off that. I'm going to try to find it while we're talking.
Isn't that crazy? I'll add to this while you're looking it up. There's such a level of like, you have something that hits big like that and goes viral. Like I would, well, clearly that's something that's more viral. That's up there in top like 5 viral things that have happened in the last 5 years, I would say. You know, even like more than the Bing Bong thing. You remember the Bing Bong thing? Bing Bong, fuck your life. You remember that shit? Like, everybody was saying that. You know, but anyway, so there's some things that just go and blow up to that level. This was the biggest that we've seen. But it feels like it's like the musician who has a big single to start. What is she going to follow that up with? Clearly nothing. This is going to be the thing that she rides on with because she was never meant to be or wanted to be famous. She will now always be famous for that thing. But how a feeling of like when you're creating something at the beginning and you're like, "Oh, I want to make a page." You have to remember that if you hit it big on something, and you want to continue to capitalize on that, you're going to keep doing that same thing. Well, now all of a sudden you're pigeonholing yourself, and now you're thought of as the lunchbox guy, or the this guy, or the that guy, or you're the guy that does this on the videos, or you walk into the bathroom and you put your thing in the mirror, or whatever the thing is that you do, that's your thing.
And like,
how do you overcome that? Because you can't. You want to have that success, but you also know it's going to plateau at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, it reminded me of the one video. It seems like there's always the one. Remember the guy, I forget his name, but that was just longboarding and was drinking ocean spray or something?
Oh,
That's another one of them. Huge.
Yeah.
Dude got so many brand deals.
Something
Dogface.
dog. Is that what it was? Yeah, dog.
Dogface 42069.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think he did much else with the brand, but because of it, I think he got a house from it. He got like, he did pretty well.
Well, this girl wasn't as as big as Dogface's video was during the pandemic, but it seems like there's always like 4 or 5 in a year. Like there's like a season of it. Because I would say like the beginning of the year, remember Chick-fil-A sauce girl?
Yeah. Yep.
She was 2 months and then gone. And like you were saying, you have to be able to follow it up with something a little bit different, so you don't put yourself as that one person. She didn't capitalize on it either. She just was continuously just.
It needs to be studied, and it has been. The bell curve of, like, literally, like, everybody's like, "Oh, this is the funniest thing. Oh, this is the funniest thing. Share, 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 share." Okay, now it's hitting world news. Okay, now it's going. It's everywhere. It's every meme on the internet for all day today and tomorrow and the next day. And now people who see it for the first time aren't thinking to themselves, "Is this funny or is this not funny?" It's, I'm being drowned in everything I do on my fucking phone with this stupid meme, and I don't want to see it ever again. So there's this hatred, and it grows and it grows and it grows. And now we're done with it, never again.
Yep.
And you even saw now the people were in that, because when they start sharing that Simpsons meme of him sitting at the bar and everybody's talking about Outta, So you knew it was going to happen. How long was it going to take? And can she sustain this? She's got, who was the country singer that brought her on? She made some public appearance there at somebody's
Zach Brown? No,
something like that. My country knowledge is minuscule, but so she's done that. Can she do the cash me outside thing and cash in on it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
because more power to it. I ate popcorn last night at the movie theater. I'm still pulling chunks out of my teeth.
So real quick, I found it. So
sorry, go ahead.
No, so it appears to be the Tim and D TV. And I don't know the growth on it because I was using an extension called like TubeBuddy or something, but I removed all my extensions from Chrome because apparently some of those started to go bad and was causing some issues on Riverside, potentially. So Tim and DTV, they're at 40,700 subscribers. I got 250 videos. I mean, obviously you see the Hawk Tuah, the original video, 4.4 million. And you're seeing some other, obviously, people on there. And then you're looking at, here's popular and 130, 120. So they've had some videos, but I wish I would have known before. Like, are these, runoffs of this video?
There are so many different of these types of people who do these interviews.
Yeah.
But I would say, if I had to make a guess, and I think this is probably where you're going, Matt, how many of those 4.4 million views trickle down to watch at least one of the other videos, you know?
Yep.
So those, you know, those views grew
Oh,
probably
for sure.
from 2,000 to 35,000, you know?
Yep, because 6 months ago they were about 9,000, which, let's be honest, you get a video, an 8-minute video that gets 9,000 views, that's still pretty good. And
That
they're
is
40,000 subs. You know, and I'm assuming the shorts are doing pretty well, but maybe not. I mean,
How many Hawks Tua videos are they doing? Jeez, I bet that's
not,
what
not a lot, and at least in the top for the popular
Wow.
ones.
Yeah.
I mean, interesting. I mean, the main video got the main video, the long form, which was 14 minutes, 4.4 million. I mean, that does.
And how much money do you think that brought in?
I don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, fingers crossed, don't mess anything up. I just finally got monetized on YouTube. And,
Nice.
like, this ain't that bad, you know? Like, versus TikTok, where you're like, please, sir, can I have a few shekels? I'd like some money to buy some bread.
According to the AI overview on Google, according to vidIQ, a long-form video on YouTube can earn $3,230 and some change after 1 million views. However, the actual money can earn from 1 million views depends on several things. You know, the channel size, the topic, viewer engagement, ad views, all that good stuff. So
they shot their wad, made $10,000 potentially off that one video.
potentially.
Give or take,
You know,
maybe 12.
Yeah,
But like,
the CPM is different for each account. Like I said, you know, Mr. Beast and, you know, an account that has 40,000, they're going to have different. But even if it's, you know, 2 or something like that, you know, even if you're making $1,000 and a million, you know what I mean, $4 grand doing street interviews with what, maybe $300 in mics, if they're using mics, you know what I mean? Not bad.
that's great.
And again, another thing, like, can they keep it going? Can they find the next one? It's going to be hard for them to keep chasing. I don't think you're going to get another Hawk to a moment, but hopefully they get some credit. That's the first that I've ever heard of the main video that did the interview of her.
Same.
It's wild. Interesting. But I don't know. We're almost at our time. Let's go with the fridge thing. Maybe we start ending it this way, or maybe we forget. But what's the weirdest, oldest thing in our fridges right now?
Love it. Love the question. Oh, probably some barbecue sauce I won't get rid of that I found at some trade show from like 5 years ago. That was kind of good, but not good enough to spend $10 on again.
See, I looked in my fridge and I was like, I was looking for something. Oh, we were doing breakfast and one of the kids wanted whipped cream on the waffle. And I was looking and I was like, what's that? And there was one way in the back. And it was like 2 years old. And I'm like, ooh. But then, like for me, we go in spurts. I don't know if you guys are like that, where all of a sudden it's like nothing to eat. Fridge is pretty much empty. And then we go all of a sudden, our fridge is so goddamn full, you can't find anything. And all this stuff gets shifted in the back. And the next thing you know, it's garbage day. And there goes about $50 worth of stuff.
I would say, and that happens to me too, Matt. But I would say the oldest thing in my fridge was probably, whenever I cleaned it out, it was a butter packet from KFC. Like you get like the honey and the butter or whatever. Sometimes we'll throw that in there just in case you run out. You're like, oh, emergency ketchup, emergency, barbecue sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce, whatever. We haven't had KFC in forever, man.
I just had KFC yesterday.
I'm trying to think. I was like, man, I was like, when the fuck do we have KFC? I was like, it's been years.
It's been 1 week.
It's been 1 week. You know what? If that was playing, I know the fast part of that song, the first verse. That's my karaoke song. Swear to God, I get fucked up. Everyone's like, get up there on the stage, get up on the stage. And I'm like, oh, it's time for some bare naked ladies. And they're like, you can't do that. I'm like, I talk really fast, and I have no stage shame. So I'm out there rubbing the nipples. Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and the brain stuff sticking. Ooh, boy!
Ooh-wee.
I'm telling you, I won't make you guys suffer through the whole song. But it's
So you're saying we could have did that at the Testicle Festival, but
for sure. If someone gives me a mic immediately, and it's going on. There's that. There's what the Afternoon Delight, like the Anchorman version. I'll get down to some Afternoon Delight. There was Little Dicky back in the day. I don't know much of his stuff anymore.
Is he still around?
See what I'm saying? I haven't seen that dude in a minute.
Little Dicky.
He used to have the FX show and stuff like that. And
Did they
Still
cancel
alive.
that show?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Guess which
I don't-
state he's from?
Maryland.
He's from Pennsylvania. He's a Philly fan.
Pennsylvania. Yep.
Yeah.
I was close. Maryland and Pennsylvania.
Maryland's
border.
pretty close. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Philly.
he's a 76ers fan. So my buddy, who's a Celtics fan, hates Philly more than anything. But he's a big Little Dicky fan. So we would always send him pictures of Little Dicky in his 76 gear, and he's always like, "Oh fuck."
There are 3 million followers on Instagram. Wowza. And he still posts on Instagram. Had him balling 5 days ago. But no, according to the Google, hasn't really put out a song since 2019, Earth.
Yeah, the one about the Earth, and yeah, with all the other artists and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's been a minute.
Oh, there was one in 2020, sorry, Running Over. But yeah, I don't see a bunch of new. All right, so anybody out there, go listen to Little Dicky. Get yourself educated. I know we talked about it the other day. The AI music. Oh man, I've been ramping up some stuff. I'm gonna have to send you my playlist of some stuff I made.
He's got a playlist now.
Dude.
That's awesome, dude.
Dude, it's because you can have the public profile, and people have been asking, was I around a bunch of musicians yesterday and potentially said how AI music is so amazing, and then these musicians got a little fired up? Yes, but my brother-in-law, he when he gets this certain kind of happy drunk, he always brings this up, and I'll try to leave us on this. He said, what if hummingbirds were 5 pounds? How terrifying they would actually be. They go from this cute little thing. The next thing you know, if you're out there and you're trying to put on your feeder a 5-pound hummingbird, and maybe they start attacking people, they could be lethal. And I was like, so
Just right in your ear, dude. Just
you know, a 5 pound, because they don't weigh that much, and then next thing you know, like a 5, and they can move that quick, and then they're just going. And he goes, then I'd have to hunt them. Then I could be like the professional hummingbird hunter. So I made an AI song about hunting 5-pound hummingbirds and put like a little rock pop to it. And I started playing around all them. And of course, there are some musicians who hate AI music, and they're just like, okay. And it came out like this. So then I wanted to start going. I wanted to get this one guy, Colin, who makes his own music, very talented, to give me some prompts so I can make a song. And he just wasn't having it. So, but yeah, I'll show you guys the playlist. I'm really tuning in some stuff. I got a concept that is pretty freaking nice. I need Euban to start pitching me some ideas.
working on a concept album.
Yep.
I always get like the Plankton version of these AI songs for some reason, and they hit so fucking hard. I don't know what they had. Diamond by Rihanna in there, so he's always like shine bright like a diamond, and I'm always like, yes, this is so much better than the original. And it got me into apparently, I don't know if I'm saying the name right, Chapel Roan. I don't know who that is, but it's the Pink Pony song. I don't know if you guys have heard that going around TikTok. It will now that I've mentioned it. Pink Pony. Now it's in your guys' algorithms. You're welcome.
You son of a bitch.
It's this chick from Missouri, apparently, and a guy from work. He was telling me about it, and he's like, oh, I love her. And I'm like, what is it? He's like, it's pretty much the new Lady Gaga. Like, extreme gay rights activist, all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. So now all my TikToks are like, hey, if you're stuck on this song, hate to break it to you, you're gay. And I'm like, what? And I was like, what if it's the Plankton version? And then I got a video 2 videos later. They're like, even if it's the Plankton one, I go, son of a bitch. Dude, I was like, the song is catchy and Plankton has fucking range. God damn it! I was like, I did not know. But when you guys start seeing these videos, you're welcome.
No.
It's a catchy song.
We're gonna be able to see that now. But yeah, we'll
Thanks,
get out of here.
Euban. Yay.
You're
You
welcome.
son
You guys are
of
gonna be on the
a-
Pink Pony Club.
Hey, well, that's our second T-shirt. Proud member of the Pink Pony Club. All right, I think we should get out of here. I'm gonna bring you out with which one are we gonna do? Do you guys want to hear a chill vibe, subtle funk, smooth R&B influence, and see if you can guess who it is, or do you want one called Heartbreak Funk? I'll let you guys pick.
To me,
Heartbreak Funk.
I'm thinking Heartbreak Funk as well. I was like, I want some
All right.
breakfast. I want some Heartbreak Funk to get me warmed up.
All right, this is the one that I made the other day. We'll take you out with this one. Appreciate everybody listening. Appreciate you, Euban, Brandon. I know your time is valuable. I greatly appreciate it. And thanks to the friends of the show, Milwaukee Pretzel, Vermont Flannel, and our friends Copper Johns. Let's hear some Heartbreak Funk AI by me.
Ooh, yeah, in the midnight hour, feeling love's power, her notes, they linger in the sweet refrain, heartbreak, it's the name of the game. Whoa. Strumming blues in a funky state. But exes got me out too late. Lose us all on a jazzy scene. A tale of love and wine and me. Change rolling like a funky tide. Heartbreak, baby, caught me by surprise. Over love starts staying in the past. But it's fun, oh, it's gonna last. Ooh-wee.
I dig it.
Buckle up tight, it's gonna be a wild ride. We're diving deep into your fridge where secrets hide. The mysteries of leftovers, the wonders inside. From moldy sandwiches to ancient yogurt jars.